My name is Jess Johnson. I'm an attorney at the law firm Johnson Citronberg. We have offices in Alexandria and Atlanta, but we operate in federal courts across the country. And right now, the biggest news to come out of the federal sentencing world has to deal with the amendment to 4C1.1 of the federal sentencing guidelines. The U.S. Sentencing Commission announced earlier this year that it would be retroactive unless Congress intervened. And Congress has a deadline of November 1st, 2023, and it looks like Congress is not going to intervene, and therefore, it's going to be retroactive. This amendment is going to benefit thousands of federal inmates who had no prior criminal history at the time that they were sentenced. One thing to keep in mind is that no one can receive a benefit for this until February 1st, 2023. So if you're scheduled to be released before February 1st of next year, then it's probably not going to benefit you. For people who are eligible, we expect this is going to shave off, on average, 6 to 12 months. And the people that it's going to benefit the most, more than likely, are going to be people convicted of fraud offense or white-collar offenses, and people convicted of low-level drug offenses. Now, even if you had no prior criminal history at the time that you were sentenced in federal court, there are still some factors that can exclude you from being eligible. And this would include people who received a terrorism enhancement, people who were accused of using violence during the commission of the offense, people who caused serious injury or death during the offense, people convicted of a sex offense, people who caused substantial financial hardship, people who used a gun or firearm during the offense, and people who were convicted of violating someone's individual rights, such as a civil rights violation. Those people are going to be excluded from those who can benefit from this amendment. Now, one question I've been getting a lot is whether this amendment is automatic. Does everyone automatically get credit for it? And the answer is no. And while the government can file a motion in your case, and while the court can do it on its own, it's probably best to hire a lawyer and have that lawyer file a motion on your behalf, because in that motion, your lawyer can advocate for why you should get the lowest sentence possible. Now, even if you are eligible, there are some people who are still not going to be able to benefit from this. One group of inmates that are not going to be able to benefit are those who are facing a mandatory minimum. So if you had a mandatory minimum of 60 months in the case, the judge is not going to be able to go below that 60-month threshold. There's also a second group of inmates who may be eligible but are not going to be able to benefit. And those are inmates who are sentenced well below what the guidelines range called for at the time that they were sentenced. And the reason for this is that the U.S. Sentencing Commission is only allowing judges to go 2 levels lower than what they were originally sentenced under. And based on that new total offense level, the judge can only sentence you at the low end. Let's look at a quick example. Let's say at the time that you were sentenced, your total offense level was a level 32, which calls for a 121-month to 151-month sentence. And now let's say you're eligible for the 4C1.1 amendment. Based on this, a judge could go 2 levels below a level 32, which would take you to a level 30. Now, a level 30 has a guidelines range of 97 months to 121 months. So if you were sentenced to 97 months or less at the time of the original sentencing, then you're not going to be able to benefit from this amendment. Now, there is one exception to this rule, and that is if you qualify for substantial assistance. But that gets a bit tricky, and you need to check in with a lawyer to see if you can qualify, and if so, how much would it benefit you. Again, my name is Jess Johnson. I'm an attorney at the law firm Johnson Citronberg. We represent clients in federal court across the country. If you think that you might qualify from this 4C 1.1 amendment, give my firm a call. We're happy to talk to you. We're happy to help. Thanks.